Good morning, Flosstube. Yes, I did this. Mostly to make you smile. Hi, I am Chrissy, finally a farm girl, and this is my Flosstube channel. And this is Sunday, November 14th, and it is my Flosstube number 24. Hey, welcome, and I'm so glad you're here with me. This is gonna be fun, and no, I'm not going to do a Christmas whip parade. That's definitely coming up, but I have been in just the happiest Christmas frame of mind that I just I thought you don't have to be a baker to wear a baker's hat. That's all I'm saying. And I found this really cute apron. Gingerbread seems to be kind of the theme this year, and it's working out really nicely. So I found it at Hobby Lobby. But anyways, let's just backtrack for 2 seconds and welcome everybody. This has absolutely turned into one of my funnest parts of the week. So thank you for that. Thank you for being my stitching family, and welcome to those that are new. If you're new, I hope that you will enjoy your time with me, enjoy the things that you see, subscribe, hit the like button, and even I oftentimes forget to remind people that if you want, you can ring the bell that will let you know when I do a Flosstube and put an episode out there. But I do try to normally do a weekly Flosstube on Sundays, and it has just kind of worked out to be that perfect timing for Philip to go have some time. Philip is my son, if you're new, and anyways, he goes off and he has some good dad time with my husband Randy, and they actually have grown to really enjoy this time, and it's just a couple hours off, and it just gives me exactly what I need. And as strange as it sounds, I have come to just really feel like when I sit down with you that we are all together. So I thank you for that, and I thank you for your friendship. So let's just get started. This is for fun. I'm not sure how long I can stare at myself like this, but I probably I had envisioned embroidering Chrissy on the front, and the more I thought about it, I thought it might be best. This baker's hat actually belongs more on my daughter Carolina's head, so I will probably go ahead and embroider her name on this for the holidays, and then she'll have this apron. So it was kind of just for fun today, and to help me with sharing all the fun things that I was able to stitch. Okay, so I do have cocoa, so hopefully if you have a cup of something that you enjoy, I think it's funny that as you get to know Flosstubers, you know also what their favorite beverage is. We all know that Laura from Brenda and the Cereal Starter, her favorite thing was tab. That's a bad word now because apparently they don't make tab anymore, and she has to drink Diet Coke. But I am a coffee drinker, but I did find some sugar-free hot cocoa, and I have it again. We have another really nice chilly day here in Florida, so this is good. The slider's open, and I am sure any golfer that goes by, because we live on a golf course, is going to wonder what in the heck that lady is doing, and they'll probably think I'm not all there, but that's okay. Okay, so what did I do during the week? I gotta tell you, I stitched, I watched Flosstube, Philip and I had fun. I did something Monday, and I can't remember what it was now that I was going to share, but either way, we just had a really good week, and we went to, on Wednesday, I know that I did something very interesting and fun, And after Philip went to bed on Wednesday night, I sat down with Becca of Sambry Stitches, and we did, she had interviewed me, which sounds really silly, so I'm just going to say that we had a nice stitching chat for about an hour, and it was just a pure joy. I think we have, Becca and I have a lot of things in common, so that's the thing everybody talks about in this community. It just felt like we'd been friends forever, and it was really hard to actually stop talking. So that episode, if you wanted to watch her, definitely go watch her anyways and subscribe to her channel. But she's the same one that I said had interviewed the Twin Peak Primitives. So anyways, it went out there today, or went live today. But give her a follow, and I feel like it's pretty funny. It was just us being us, and I think that's the best. So I had a really, really good time. That was Wednesday night. I kind of look a little tired in it, but that's because I had got Philip off to bed. I think she's 3 hours behind me. So for me, we chatted till a little bit after 9. But it was a lot of fun, and she's just a sweetheart to spend some time with. Anyways, so after Wednesday, on Friday, I picked up my granddaughter early in the morning, and her and Philip and I went out. And each year I have Aria pick out my granddaughter. I have her pick out a Christmas ornament, and that's what we did. And we grabbed some lunch, and we just had a nice morning together. So, and then that led to Saturday, and Saturday was another day. Our community where we live is 55 and over, and a lot of the communities around us are also 55 and over. And all of a sudden, every single one, it seemed like, put out that they were having a craft fair. So Saturday morning, we spent our morning kind of just relaxing and visiting a couple of these craft shows. And I can't say that I bought anything, except I did buy a couple of the baked goods. But it was fun. It is not the same as being in Michigan in the fall for the craft shows. I used to love going to the Davisburg craft shows. We would go out to Ann Arbor. I miss the, going to getting apple cider and hot warm homemade cinnamon donuts. I will say that my favorite memory with my horse that I had as a teenager through 4-H was going with our 4-H group. They were the Davisburg Hoofbeats, which, that's so crazy. I can't remember stuff from last week, but I can tell you with specifics some of that kind of stuff. But I belonged to the 4-H group Davisburg Hoofbeats, and we took a trail ride to a cider mill, my sister and I, and it was so awesome. It was just awesome. There is nothing like being on a horse, going for a trail ride in this beautiful fall weather, and then tying off your horses under a tree, going in as this group and grabbing a hot, apple cinnamon donut or cinnamon sugar donut and, a cup of warm cider. Those are the best memories. And we don't have too many craft shows like that here in Florida. But anyways, it was still fun to hop around and spend some family time doing that. Okay, that was kind of my week in a nutshell, and here I sit with you. But I will tell you that if we get right into some of the stitching and stuff, I did not do much of what I planned to do. I did have some good finishes, and I did get them off to the framer. And yes, I have Christmas Morning at Santa's Kitchen back for you to see, and I'm so excited to share that with you. And I did finish Whilst Iris Naps. I finished her, and she's at the framer. So I don't have her to show with you, but anyways, it was just a great stitchy week, and I got right into, was ready for some smalls. and I've shared them on Instagram. I have them here for you today, and it's like I didn't want to stop. I just had so much fun with the entire process, and that's what led to this whole having fun with you apron and things. So anyways, let's get started. I have shared with you the planner that I have for next year, and as time goes by and as I get closer, and all these sales seem to be all of a sudden a kind of a lengthy list. I am so glad to have this. I am so excited. Oops, it's upside down. I am so excited. I have not written in it yet because I wanted to get some new pens, and I have a lead on some really fun pens that all different colors that I'll probably get ordered. But I am very ready to get my pens and get going in here, because I feel like as these bigger pieces are getting done and as the year is winding down, which I can't believe I'm saying that, but I feel more inclined to be, and maybe it's Flosstube, because this is my first year doing Flosstube, so I feel more inclined to be more organized. And so this is, I think, definitely going to allow me to do it. I've shared it before, but I love that it's got the tabs in it. I love that it's an overall planner. And even though the last week, I can't say I've been ridiculously bad eating-wise or healthy-wise, it just seems like I haven't been completely perfect. So I have not gotten on the scale as far as that journey goes. I don't think that I've gained, but I don't think that I've lost either, and that's okay, because that's part of the balance in life. I am going to enjoy some of these treats, but I am not going to overindulge in these holiday treats. So anyways, I am excited, and I shared with you, let me put the planner down, I've got a lot to show. Okay. I shared with you last time that I had gotten organized with my Twin Peak Primitives patterns, and I had decided that I had put all of them in here, but I decided that what I want my front cover to be is the one that I want to stitch next in my mind, and especially I'm thinking more 2022, because right now I'm just going to keep enjoying Christmas stitching and any new sales that are starting. So in my mind, I am really taking step 2 to get organized for 2022. And this is the edge of Old Mill. And I don't believe that it's been stitched yet either. So I'm excited, because when I was just talking about the ciderman and all that, we don't have a lot of these here. But I just really thought that was cute. And after stitching, I believe it was the roses in the Lincoln sampler, I really enjoyed that. And I love sheep. So this is kind of something that I already know in mind colors, the colors that I want to use, the floss that I want to use to bring this to life. And I'm really excited. So this is out there. You can buy this now. This is called the Edge of Old Mill. Let me see if I can get that closer for you. But I am going to start looking. I'm either going to stitch it on Water Lily, Jovelin Water Lily, or I will look for another green that has a more primitive look to it. We'll see. But this is what I have, and that is what I decided, and you'll see why I'm kind of saying that. As some of the ones where I have more patterns, an abundance of patterns, this is what I'm trying to work towards a little bit in my cross stitch cupboard. So my idea is whatever's sitting up front, I would see it more and remind myself, because I feel like sometimes in my collection I forget what I have. So up front, it reminds me this is where you wanted to go. And if I change my mind, I change my mind, because obviously we're known to do that. So this is the next one. Hold on one second here. I had started finally getting a little bit of a nice collection of the Prairie Schooler. Now, not a lot, but enough that I had this smaller binder, and I was able to kind of do the same thing. And it's mostly in the back, the Prairie Schooler Santas, which again, that is still on my bucket list for 2021. I have never stitched a Prairie Schooler Santa, and it's gonna happen. It's probably gonna happen this week. That's kind of one of my goals and plans, but following the same theme or the idea, this is the one for 2022 that I want to get stitched, that I just want to have done. I only have a couple other Halloweens. This is my only big one. There's so many more I want to get, but this is definitely the holiday one that I would like to stitch. And since I'm going to stitch Halloween all year, it works perfectly. Here's my reminder. Then on the back, this is the one that I fell in love with a long time ago, and this is, I could take it out, this is the Needle's Eye, and I absolutely love this. I love all of them. So there we go. But I absolutely love the two of them stitching across from each other. And anyway, so I put that on the back just because I've got the holiday theme as well as just in general. So that was one organization thing I did this week, and that was to get my Prairie Schoolers all organized, and the Santas are mostly towards the back. But I'm excited because I was going to show you, I do have a Christmas one in here, Christmas traditions. I have been given this to borrow harvest time from my friend Stitchy Linda. So binder number 2, and I think it's really going to help out. Okay, so that was that part of the organization. Okay, what did I stitch on? Okay, what didn't I stitch, it seemed like. But the first one I'm going to show you was, I had shown this last week, but this is one that my mom had stitched. This was a Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. She did a little quick impromptu stitch along on her Facebook, and this is called Marion Bright. This is not the whole pattern. There's actually, I believe there were poinsettias along the bottom, but this is as far as my mom got stitched, and I wanted to just honor her stitching, finish it up, and I had shown you my black tray that I'd put together and painted. So this is gonna go into my Christmas tray. And then on the back, I just used this, put a couple of buttons on the pin. I've been hand stitching them just like made by Michelle McGraw. I do know she uses her machine quite a bit too, but oops, I squished that down. But there you go. Really, these little things that fit in your hand are just, they're so fun. They are absolutely so fun. And I wish I could get a little closer, but I have, one second, let me try this. I have something that I wanted to share with you, and it's a little bit big. Okay, there. Just in case I wasn't getting it close enough. But that was my first finish FFO. Obviously I didn't stitch this, but I am so glad to have it, and it's just so adorable. Okay, the next one I did was, this was my very first Stitching with the Housewives, and this is Marion Bright, and everybody knows them as Priscilla and Chelsea. And I, of course, made my own modifications, and this was my start, my whip, and my FFO. So let me put this down. Now, there you go. Hopefully you can see that good. Again, I'm kind of trying to make these small. I'm also just making them as enjoyable as possible. Whatever I feel like, I do. So I really loved Mr. and Mrs. Claus. I gave him some French knots. I did not want the reindeer in the bowl because I will have a Christmas tree. Our family room here, which is kind of, you know, where I stitch a lot, is connected to our kitchen. And there I do a lot of the gingerbread and things like that, and I've always had cocoa bar. Not huge, but it's fun for the kids. Anyways, so I am going to have a tree in the kitchen, a 6-foot tree that I am going to somehow orchestrate all this stuff together. And I did not turn these into ornaments, but I could easily put them in the tree if I want to. So anyways, I used the red and black buffalo check. I have not finished off the back yet. I will. I'm waiting for something to come in the mail. But I whip stitched it closed, and I just wanted to use, I had these buttons were from Joann's, and I used here, it was just a red dyed floss. I'm trying to just use what I have, and I think it's Buckeye Scarlet. I was using what was left, but I just think they are so cute. Just in case that's better. Anyways, and this was a piece of my mom's lace that she had left over, so I kind of added a little bit of trim. Anyways, and I kind of like them. I don't like a lot of extra, so I really like that. And it was kind of exciting, I have to admit. I was so excited that Fat Quarter Shop Cross Stitch had shared my finish on their page. So it was kind of to us stitchers, that can be a big deal, and that somebody liked it enough to share that on their page. So I know that you can get this pattern from them. And this is my finish. As you can see, I took off up top, and then I took the reindeer, I took the reindeer out and put my buttons in. So anyways, so much fun, guys. This is a color pattern, so much fun to stitch. I have another one of theirs, and that's probably will get stitched up this week. So anyways, that was the second small that I finished. And then this was, I shared with you from my haul last week, this was sugar stitches. I've never done a sugar stitches either. This is called Kringles Gingerbread. Another fun one to stitch. It also has a color pattern. Now, it calls for beads. It called for beads for the red and green, and it called for 1/1 stitching here. And I was not doing that. Oh, heck no. And I'll show you what my finish was, because again, I'm keeping it. I want to have finishes. I want to enjoy it. I want it to be moving. I just want the whole process to be what works for me. So this was my finish. So you can see I removed all of the upper Kringles. I hand embroidered smoke from the chimney, and I used red and green just from the called for colors. I just did French knots instead of beads, and then I added them across the front as if they had lights across the house. I did the 2 holly berries, but I added the date instead of gingerbread because I was not gonna do 1/1 stitching. That would take me an entire night to do a name or whatever. And I do love ornaments that have the dates. Not everyone, but I do like that. So let me see if I can get that. There you go. It's really fun and really cute. And this is, I'm using all my leftover, whatever I've got. So this is 28 count summer khaki, summer khaki sage. Anyways, if you put in summer khaki, it'll come up. But anyways, so it was just a leftover piece from my Mr. and Mrs. Claus that I did, and it's just perfect. I did change some of the colors. I believe this is 434. That was really used snow, like whatever I had weeks for the white. It was either Snowball, I think it was Snowball, and then I used DMC 434 and the called for green and red. But again, all these Christmas patterns you can basically just grab from your stash. So anyways, super fun. Now this time I added some little brownish trim. I don't know what you call this. It's not pom-pom, but I know you know what it is. And then I have not put the back on. I'm waiting again for something to come in the mail. But this is flannel and just super cute. So I'll get a pin on there and I'll get it all cuted up. So that led me into my next start, which was my very first Lizzie Kate. And oh my gosh, so much fun to stitch. I started collecting Lizzie Kates off of eBay primarily. If I saw one that I think I did it started like after Christmas last year, after the first of the year, and I got some of these for just like a couple of bucks a piece. So this is what I had got. Hold on one second here. Oopsie. Oh. This is the pattern. And this one was off eBay. It came with the cookie and his buttons for his night shirt. And this is called A Good Night. This is 2004 Lizzie Kate snippet. And he is so cute with his cocoa and his little lantern and his, just really fun. So my very first Lizzie Kate, and again, I'm just kind of using my same threads each time. And if I add something, I add something. And this is where I got, let's see if it's better. There you go. This is where I got. And it called for, and I did not notice it at first. I assumed it was just a different color, white, and it's actually Whisper. It's actually Whisper. So I quickly last night put in an order to get some, I believe it's by Rainbow Gallery, but anyways, to get myself some Whisper, because I used mine up when I did a sheep stitch for the twins before we moved, so I don't use it that often. And if this had been a little bit smaller, I probably would have just done French knots, but it's kind of big, and I think it'll be nice to have the Whisper in. So at this point, all I have to do is finish his hat, do the mouse, get his face in. So I will tonight get this all the way done except for the Whisper, and wait for it to come in the mail. But let's see if I can make that a little cuter for you. That's where he's at. Really fun, really fun. And I think I have 5 more Lizzie Kate Santa patterns that I have gathered. So maybe I'll have time to do another one. I think because I stitched fall ahead of time, maybe a little earlier than in season. I seem to stitch my holidays earlier than in season because a lot of times I'm model stitching. So it's not that I don't have all my Thanksgiving out, and it's not that I didn't enjoy that. I just seem to do it sooner than what others do, because I was doing Grateful in September, and so I was ready. I did all the other smalls, and so I have been very ready to stitch on Christmas. So anyways, so much fun, so much fun. So I will finish that one up tonight, and then let me show you the tray before I move on to where I'm headed. this is where I'm kind of at. It's not gonna look perfect yet, but you will be able to see kind of where I'm at. Oopsie, oops. So, oh well, there they are. Now, I don't know, that did not work very well. Anyways, I don't know which ones will go on the tree. I don't know which ones will stay in here. What I'm trying to do is, the more I get done here, you know, in here, then these will go on, like his outfit that I got, will go on the tree. And if I get something stitched for here, then this goes on the gingerbread tree. So I do know one thing I'm gonna add, and I know they sell those little miniature rolling pins at Hobby Lobby that you can paint. I would like to do that. It'd be crazy cool if I could stitch some little red work on it. Again, they're all fun ideas. What you end up accomplishing, that's a whole different story. But anyways, this is my Stitchy Christmas box so far. And if you recall, if I take some out, this is the one where I stitched it, or painted it all in red. Painted it all in red first, then I dry brushed it in black. The outside is in black. I did a little Mod Podge for some color, and it's been fun. It's been really fun to work on these boxes and have these smalls to go to for something different. So I'm excited. Okay, now next up is I have I've been using my Dot Dot Goose bag that I got. It's got the Christmas bars inside and the vinyl front. Where I'm headed next is I fell in love with Country Cottage Needleworks. I ordered this pattern when it came out from my local needle shop, which is Brick City Cross Stitch in Ocala. And I love this. So let me take it out for you. This is Greetings from the North Pole. Maybe that's better. And it just, to me, it just falls right in line with everything I've been working on. And Christmas, I tend to get a little less primitive, and this is just so cute. But not over the top big is kind of my hope. It is 133 by 171. It might be a little bigger than what one would think, but I picked up 32 count Heartland linen, and I think it's gonna end up being real pretty on that. So this is what I'm going to finish kitting up this week, and I'd like to get some stitches in. At least be able to start working on, get the frame of the border in, and have this as one of my Christmas whips just throughout the whole season. I don't have to have a goal of getting it done. I just want to be working on it. So that is going to be what I work on. And I will share something fun with you. Hold on one second here. In just a little bit. I have something really, really, really cute to show you. Okay, sorry for the crinkle. I know we all say that, but okay, so that's going to be something that I work on hopefully this week, and you know, that's kind of my plans. I do still have Christmas delivery, but I don't have the linen yet, but it's another one that kind of just really appeals to me as something to just get going and work on it throughout the whole year. So, okay, let me make sure I didn't forget anything. I have yet the one that I showed you that I got the pattern last week, but this is something that I would like to as well. I want to just do these. I'm not sure. I would love to do that too, but I really, really like those as far as putting it in a little crock or a little, little bowl, just like that. So we'll see. I'll be picking some of these, and this is something I just absolutely love too, and this is by the Calico Confectionery, and I have never stitched one of their patterns either. See why this whole apron thing went with everything? It just feels like everything is about the gingerbread. So anyways, that's that. All right, we are doing pretty good. Let me put this back there. That back there. Okay. I think we're probably ready for haul. I do have a giveaway. I hope you'll stick around till the end to see that and to hear who the winner is of last week's giveaway. And I have a special giveaway for Thanksgiving. And so stay tuned and don't go anywhere. You know, be here for sure to hear about that. Okay, so here, I want to pull out, this is my bag from Creative Country Girl. This is where I've been keeping my samplers. Lately it's just been the small ones. So I finished, and at the framer is my Whilst Iris Snaps Eliza Stone. I won't show you that one again, the pattern wise. I will show you it when it comes back from the framer. I had shared with you though that I had grabbed this Cricut collection, and I love that someone else had found it, but it's called Shadows. It's got a sampler behind the girl, and I want to display this with Eliza, and I found chart number 2, which I just by chance, but it's also, it's a companion piece to the Cricut collection. Let me get her, 1 second, the picture fell off. They're two different, they're both Cricut, but you can tell they changed, they changed how they did their patterns. So anyways, this is, the other one is called Shadows, and this is called The Inheritance. And you can tell she is stitching on a quilt, hand stitching a quilt. And to me, they look like they're companion pieces. Maybe that wasn't the intention, but to me, I think they are gonna look perfect with my 2 small samplers that I'll have. So they're both facing different directions. So if you can kind of see it, I will have Whilst Iris Snaps next to one of these, and then for Black Sampler November, which I have not started yet, but I have time, I am stitching Mama Loves You GB's Nessie Mitchell. I have not started, but I did not pick something very big, and while I was so into Christmas stitching and motivated, I wanted to keep going. So my plans are to get a start on this week, but as you can see, I mean, I think these will be perfect with each other. So between the Whilst Iris Snaps and Mama Loves You GB, which both of those you can get a download and in your hot little hands immediately, and you know, I think it's a great way to support the full stitching community. I have my local needle shop. I do go to Etsy for Calico Confectionery. I do order straight from the designers when I can. I think you have to do the full, if you can, you know, I think you support it as a full community. We want these shops to stay here. So most of the time I get my stuff from my local needle shop, but there are many like these Christmas ornaments where I just, you know, it's very nice to be able to get them off Etsy or get them straight from the designer real quick. So those are my plans when it comes to the samplers this week, to get going on the Black Sampler November, and hopefully the framer will call me this week about the I actually have 3 pieces of the framer right now, but anyway, so that's another part of my plans, and that was part of haul. So because I had found that other Cricut collection, The Inheritance, and again, I'm paying a couple bucks in shipping for those. So if they get stitched, they get stitched. If not, they're in my collection and I will get to it when I get to it. But I think they would look lovely together and with these schoolgirl samplers. Okay, I wanted to share, I had a lovely viewer, her name is Sheila, and she emailed me, because you can email me anytime you want. I am finallyafarmgirl@gmail.com. And she emailed me a question about the colors that I used in my color conversion for the pattern Grateful by Twin Peak Primitives. And so I gave her a little help, helped her get the colors coordinated by what I used. And then she so nicely, I said, please send me a picture when you're done or email back. So anyways, her name is Sheila. I won't share last names, but I did get permission to share this with you. This is how she finished it. And I love that. And I wish you could see the details. She did send me, let me put this behind it. She did send me a close-up picture. And so on this pumpkin here, it's wood and she's kind of antiqued it and it looks really cool. What a great finish, Sheila. And thank you so much for sharing this with me. I love this. Absolutely love it. It is so fun to know that somebody fell in love with something the same way, you know, that I did, or with, obviously, with the, you know, just the same passion. She definitely wasn't gonna give up. She definitely, you know, wanted a certain color effect. And so, anyways, it's so nice to help people. And I'm so glad that, you know, I have a new friend. So thank you for sharing, Sheila. That was awesome. Okay. Let's see here. I have a little haul because I had already bought a lot of those Christmas patterns last week, and then I mostly stitched. But if we can talk about the twins for just 2 seconds here, they have had company and they have had friends, and I think I mentioned it last time that Diane Ashcraft, who runs their TPP exclusive shop, she went for a visit in the Netherlands, and then they had another friend come, excuse me, my nose itched, and so they have had company. They have been so busy, and if you are watching their Instagram pictures, it's just been so fun to see, partly because it's just, you know, people I know, and the other part is to just see the world, you know, coming back to life, I guess you could say. And it's just been so fun to see the changes. But they released a book, and I think it's Nerdan's the twins' first book. Now, I knew she was putting together an ornament book. She mentioned it a while back, but I had never seen what the patterns were going to be, of course, or anything. And they released their 2021 ornament book, and I bought this because I absolutely fell in love with so many of the patterns in here. So let me see if I can get it closer. All right, snowman is so cute. This is like that holly bough hanging down on the Christmas morning with Santa. Let me see if I can show you. It's so good, so good. And some of them, okay. The book has a little letter that goes with it to dear friends, but anyways, it's real sweet because it just basically says, in order to cheer ourselves as well as you, we have prepared an ornament book that we hope you will enjoy. Inside the book you will find 14 different patterns And another point we would like to share is that the colors we use in the patterns are not the usual Christmas colors. In this way, we wanted to make a little difference in your stitchery or decoration. So they're leaving it up to you, but they're sharing with you that these are, you know, some of their color choices, and you can keep that and bring a little bit of them into your home, or you can obviously change that. But there are bunny carolers, which are adorable, but I wanted to see if I could just share with you a couple of my favorites. Okay, this is these are bunny carolers, really cute. I'll get you a couple others. A squirrel with a Christmas tree. He's skiing, that's adorable. But I wanted to show you this one. To me is so cool. But this barn with the truck and the silo, that's a really pretty ornament. So much detail. Let me just show you. There's Christmas mice. Love it. But this one just, like, seriously, foxy. Really cute. Something different. Something so different and yet still so festive. So, yeah, there's a lot, and it's just really put together beautifully. So I hope you might go grab yourself a copy of their first book. Anyways, that was one of my hauls that I just think is really special. Okay, then this is eBay, and anytime I can find a Prairie Schooler ornament that is potentially a limited edition, or maybe something that was, you know, kitted up or came from a retreat, those I try to look for. So I had made an offer on this one. It is a 2005 limited edition. Here Comes Santa Claus, and it has everything in it. It makes it so easy for me to just pick up then and try it. So whether this is the one I picked this year, I don't know, but I did grab it. I made a nice offer, and when they accept, it's like, this is perfect, because you can just pull it out and easy peasy, you're ready to go. So that was one haul, and I'm excited about that. Okay, then I got all the sales going on. Okay, I have a list of sales that I wanted to go through, that if you did want to write stuff down, now's a good time to get the pen and paper out if you wanted to. But I will show this first. I am going to join in on Java Girl Stitches, and I'll go through all of it in just a minute, but this is called Have a Cup of Cheer sale. This literally just came out. This is by Cherry Hill Stitchery. And I will decide how much of it I'll stitch. Maybe I'll stitch the whole thing, but I know that I could easily pull some out. You know, I could do hot cocoa bar and just do from there down, but it is really cute, and I think this is just such a fun way to be festive and be part of something. So even if I don't get it finished, it's okay. It's absolutely okay. It's just fun to belong to others that are stitching the same thing. There are times that I don't like to stitch the same thing, and I think that's why sometimes it works for me to have a variety. But in a situation like this is just a seasonal holiday stitch. It's adorable. I've never stitched for Cherry Hill Stitchery or one of their patterns, so again, something new and something fun. So that is Have a Cup of Cheer, hot cocoa bar. So I love that. I grabbed that, but of course, while I was there and have really no stash or collection of Cherry Hill Stitchery, I really fell in love with Jingle All the Way. So this was a quickie, very fast decision, and so affordable, and downloaded in 2 seconds. And they have color patterns, and they're really good clear patterns. So let me get that a little bit closer for you. The deer is adorable by itself. I can't decide if for this year, because I want something different. I've done a lot of Santa and Mrs. Claus now, or not a lot, but it would be fun to stitch just the deer. I can take his reins off and make an ornament just out of him, or a small. So really, really cute. And that's from Cherry Hill Stitchery too. And just, I think that'll get stitched. I'm even tempted to maybe put something in the sleigh instead of what she has. I don't know, maybe get creative in there. Maybe the date could go in there. I don't know. Either way, very fun and really, really cute. And like I said, she does use Weeks Dye Works in it, but she obviously has the DMC conversion. But the pattern itself is so good. And for me, I love a color pattern, and some people don't, but I really do. This is just would be so fun to stitch, and I'm excited about that. I got a hair. Oh, how's that happen? Anyways, okay, all right. Let's do, let me show you something here. I am going to show the fully finished of its, hold on a second here, Christmas morning in Santa's kitchen. Okay, so here is the finish. Help you a little bit. I think I got it out. I used the same frame that I did last year because I wanted to match the one that I did before. Get you closer. The fireplace is, I just think that's so pretty. When you see floss do its job like that, this is bramble bush, and this is whiskey. When you see it do that, it's just so beautiful. And I did not complete my crosses, so you are going to get that look without having to complete your crosses. Now, some people do that naturally, but I don't. I did not complete my crosses for the whiskey, and you're still going to get that look. Absolutely love it. Here's my little mouse on top. So I have, when is this going to come out? When is this available? Very soon. The twins had company. I have sent them the photographs. All I need to do is, knowing that they had company is tonight, I will send them my conversion, but it's mostly the same. And I have literally shared with you most of what you would need, which is the bramble bush, the whiskey. The black on the fireplace is Weeks Dye Works mascara. It's just a more bold black. Down here is, I believe it's 221, but anyways, this is DMC. It's already called for in there. Santa and Mrs. Claus is in Lancaster Red. And the tree is DMC. The gingerbread house, like most of what you see here is already available, you know, as far as it's I don't have to send them a lot. So usually it takes them a few days, and I'm hoping for this release this week. So that's really exciting, but I wanted to share it with you all finished up. And again, just to be clear, you do not have to do the French knots on Mr. and Mrs. Claus. It is charted for cross stitch. It is charted for, different, it was just something I did. I did it on top of those cross stitches. I stitched it the way it was charted, and then I just wanted some dimension. So you don't have to. You do not have to. This is literally all those French knots. She does have them in the tree, but you could very easily, these yellows are, there's little tiny gold in there. Those are French knots, but you can very easily make them just a cross stitch. I seriously considered making them red for berries on the tree. But anyways, so this is it. And I have to say, I think I've changed my favorite pattern. My favorite pattern that I always share has always been a patriotic Christmas Eve. And I think the twins outdid themselves with this. That gingerbread house could easily be stitched into an ornament. You could only stitch this part, Mr. and Mrs. Claus, and you could call it quits right there if you did not want to do the fireplace, and it's still a phenomenal pattern. This is stitched on 28 count summer khaki, and if I can now, I brought both. Okay, see if I can do this. The slide, so hold tight. This is what I will get. So I am so excited to hang these up. And you know, whether you stagger them, however it is. Let me put this one over here. Okay. And then this was obviously, this is the first year. A Patriotic Christmas Eve. Part 2 is Christmas Morning in Santa's Kitchen. This is out now. And the other one, my guess is it will be available this week. Now, I told y'all last week to go visit Goose. Miss Denise had found some phenomenal fabric that just fell in line to me with the whole feeling of Santa's Kitchen, the whole theme that goes with this. The series name that goes with these two patterns is At Home with Santa. And each year we will, Nerdan will design a room in Santa's home. So we have, you know, the first one, which is living room in front of the fireplace. And then, whoa, okay. Anyways, and then you have this one for year 2. And now I'm going to show you what Denise did. Get my hand out here. So, I'm going to come a little closer again. Okay. Denise of Goose found this fabric that I absolutely, I kind of went gaga over it. I mean, this is it. This is it. This is what I see. This is Mr. and Mrs. Claus happy about everything, baking, and you know, there's just every kind of detail in there, and it's just joy. It's just Christmas joy. The back is gingerbread perfection. It's perfect for working both the Twin Peak Primitives pattern, as well as I'm gonna move my ornaments in here now. I'll have, you know, 2 bags. But let me get closer for you. Look at this reindeer. I mean, this is just happy. Happy. And I am so thankful to other, you know, Denise does her own cross stitching, but I'm so and her cat. I am so thankful when they, you know, they're willing to work with you, because when you get two minds working together, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be so perfect. And she's like, okay. And then she creates this, and then the twins create this, and it's just too cute. So anyways, thank you, Denise. This is my happy mail this week. I love it, and it just makes me so happy. So let me get in there a little closer. This is how I see Mrs. Claus. The glass, it's just good. Really good stuff. So anyways, again, she has an Etsy shop. She's on Instagram, and she has a Facebook page with Java Girl Stitches, who I'm going to talk about in a minute. But anyways, so you can find her, and it's under _goose, and her name is Denise, and I am so excited to get these hung, and I hope Santa will find a place in your home, and as soon as the pattern is out there, I will share my picture on Instagram, and I will make sure that people know that he's available, and the twins will too. Obviously, they're gonna let you know. Now, I wanted to share something really cool. We are approaching, I believe I have my own little segment called Show and Tell, and each week I show you maybe something of my mom's. Last week it was my mom's quilt, and yes, it got hung up over our bed, and I am so glad. But I wanted to show you a piece of artwork that I got last week, and you're gonna not believe, but this is my patriotic Santa, definitely in my primitive realm, and handmade by Twin Peak Primitives. I believe Nurse Sun does this, but I can't say that they both didn't take part, but I believe these particular dolls, if you want to say, are made by Nurse Sun. Nerdan, if you watch the interview, they explain how their partnership works for their company, and Nerdan does the designing, but Nurse Sun does some as well. So anyways, these are the kind of things that you find in their TPP exclusive shop, and I absolutely fell in love with him and the little details, and it's just so phenomenal. So my thinking is that this is going to go in between my two pictures. Somehow I'll figure that out, but I wanted you to see, and I hope it's not too whited out, but this isn't just so incredible, the details that they get in here. And there's sparkles, I don't know if you can see, there are sparkles all in here, but not too much. So he's really cool, and I just wanted you to see him with the Santa finish, because I've been waiting to place him with that, and now I have two, so it's really gonna be cool. Okay, we're almost to giveaways. This is going over a little bit, but that's how the cookie crumbles. So, okay, a few viewers asked to see, I mentioned I had a Christmas shadow box. I'm gonna do my best to show it. We moved this year, as many of you know, so I put it out each year, but I have to assemble it a little bit each year, and then each year I add to it. And it's not a small shadow box, it's like a miniatures box. I would love to have a miniature dollhouse, but I don't tend to have the room for that, and maybe that would be something later on I could do with Aria. But for right now, these are the things that my mom and I would get into. And it's so funny, because I know I share it every week. I don't know how not to share it. I don't know how to not share her as part of my world, because we just did all this kind of stuff together. So anyways, we had decided, not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before that, and somehow she mentioned doing a Christmas miniatures. And I'm like, hey, I saw these like small miniatures, but they weren't houses, but they had lights, and they were at an antique store. And we went with my dad, Randy and I and Philip, and then my mom and dad, and we went to one of our favorite places, Renninger's Antique Mall, and there they were, and we both bought one, and I don't think we realized the size of them to store. So eventually she's like, here, you just take this. So anyways, I have decided, as opposed to trying to find a place for it all year, I bring it out at Christmas time, and I've just turned it into Mr. and Mrs. Claus's house, and I'm going to do my best. It's not lit up. It does plug in and light. I'm gonna hold this real slow, and I don't know if I'll be able to. I'm gonna do my best. Hopefully the light will show. But this is what I started working on. And there's that back room there has a light bulb, and that is Mrs. Claus' sewing room. This is heavy. That is Mrs. Claus' sewing room. So there's a sewing machine in there. And then on the other side is the tree. And behind that window, it lights up. And then there's a fireplace. So what I have set up is them having cookies, his little suit, and I just need to each year add something. Last year I made that little Christmas picture, and there's cookies over there on that little cupboard. But let me put this down. I will take a picture. 1 second here. It's really lovely how the man made it. The front glass, it's real glass. There's a little latch at the top, and you can unlatch that, and you can pull the front down. And so I decorate from the front, and then the lid also opens, and then that's where your light bulbs are. So those back two rooms, one is like a solarium, which has some plants in it that I just have the curtains there. And the other one could have been a bathroom, but I've turned it into Mrs. Claus's like sewing room. So I need to work on some pictures, but each year Philip and I find something Christmas related that we add. He loves miniatures too, not so much playing with them. I just think he thinks it's so unique that they're so tiny. So again, it might be a good house one day for a mouse. There's just a lot of things you can do with it, and so it's really cute, and I absolutely love sharing with you, and hopefully it might inspire you to do a little bit of something too. I know for a fact Aria last year was starting to really eye it up and I think this year's going to be real big for her to just get lost in Christmas time and its magic and its importance. So those were my two show and tells that I had, the Twin Peak Primitive Santa and my little miniature Mr. and Mrs. Claus's house. But I wanted to go through real quick. This is the list of sales. This is why I'm so excited about the planner, the Lori Holt planner. If you can, if it's something you can put under, get yourself for the holidays, and you like to do sales, I think it's great to add. But I wanted to go through, but I'm gonna have to look down a little bit. We have so many right now, but right now there are 3 Twin Peak Primitive stitch-alongs. The Honest Abe Sal, the Generation Sal, those started October 1st. Then there's the Haunted House Sampler Sal, that started October 13th. I will continue to stitch on that. I missed it yesterday, we were busy, or I would have stitched on it for dark October stitching. Whatever it is, they will stitch Halloween on the 13th of each month now for the rest of the year. So I'm gonna do that. That's why I want that planner, so that on the 13th I can write down, I don't care what I stitch on, but I can write down Halloween. I can write down that that's what I'm working on, and the hashtag, and remember what it is. I did want to mention that both the Honest Abe Sal and the Generation Sal, if you can, and you are participating in that, make sure that you watch Stitching with the Sisterlies, Colleen and Cheryl, because they did a giveaway. We said we would have giveaways, and the Fat Quarter Shop has graciously given gift cards for those that were winners on that. So I'm so grateful that you watch me, but make sure you're watching for those two Sals, specifically Stitching with the Sisterlies, because they announced the winners for that. So congratulations to those, and I'm so thankful to those that are participating in those Sals. So okay, Haunted House Sampler, gonna keep working on that. I have one that I am going to join, and that is our Christmas Day start. That is the Noel, Noel Sampler Sal, and that is going to be hosted by my friend Stitchy Linda. And it's a Christmas Day start. I got mine, I shared it with you, but I got mine from Country Sampler, and it's a little different than what the pattern is, but this is the pattern Noel Sampler by Brenda Gervais with Dyed Needle and Thread, and it would be fantastic if you wanted to join. It's more of, to me, it'll stay up all year. Even though it's the Noel Sampler, it will stay up all year. It is beautiful, and you will see it again. So that is Noel Sampler. I am also still working on the C. Manning Sal, Carolyn Manning. I am working on Red. That's the name of the pattern, Red, and I am definitely going to get some stitches in this week on this. It's never going to be finished this year, no way, no how. However, that's okay. It's so beautiful, and that is the C. Manning Sal. If you're stitching on anything by Carolyn Manning, please tag me. And that is one I'm doing with Stitchy Linda. So feel free to tag us and share your work. Then, okay, I mentioned the Have a Cup of Cheer Sal. That is the Cherry Hill Stitchery. That one is being hosted by Java Girl Stitches, Starry Night Studio. That's Starry Night Studio. Designs _by Stacy, and Anna wrote 61, ANAROAT 61. Okay, so there's 4 ladies in that that you could tag, as well as Cherry Hill Stitchery with your progress. That is Have a Cup of Cheer Sal. That's, join us. It'll be fun. Okay, I had one more that I wanted to mention, and this is very different. I am going to start in January. The first part comes out the end of January, is the Garden Grow Sal by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. Now, this is something different for me. I have watched plenty other floss tubers that share their progress, but Aria and Heather and their family have done a small garden this year themselves, and they have been growing okra. And although I would have loved to have jumped in on the Caterpillar Cross Stitch Nutcracker Cross Stitch, but I've just, this is going to be fun. I've been invited by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and I have watched many of their other patterns come to life, and I think that this is going to be the perfect gift to give to Aria next year. So it's called How Does Your Garden Grow? The name of the hashtag is Garden Grow Sal. The place to watch on Instagram or their webpage is Caterpillar Cross Stitch. They sell these as kits, everything you need. The pre-orders start December 3rd if you wanted to do this. Maybe you're a gardener. Now this is a mystery stitch along, so you don't see anything until the first part's done, and I like that. So, and this is what's fun about stitching is you're not always stitching for yourself, so it gives you an opportunity to stitch outside your element, and that's fun too. And then the first part will be released the end of January. So that means that my last sale that I will, that's still on my list is, I mentioned last week, for Christmas I got myself Elizabeth Isles $17.99 so that I can join in the Laura's Big Birthday Sale. And that is for Laura Duet of Maud and Mozart. She is the Laura to Brenda and Brenda to Laura. And it's her big birthday. And so on January 1st, that is the kickoff for that. Whew, that's a lot of sales. That's a lot of fun. That's a lot of no commitment is how I look at it. It's just something that I want to be a part of. If I don't start it on that date, I don't start it on that date. It's okay. It's just to be part of something. So those are all the sales that I have that I want to use the book. And so I am finding myself at a place where I really want to feel organized in all aspects of my life. Okay, let's go ahead and do, okay, it's giveaway time, but I want to share something really cool too. One second here. Next week is my grandson's very first birthday, so that's next week. And I'm hoping to start all my other things and then pull out my whip of A Christmas Carol by Twin Peak Primitives, because I'm ready to pick that back up. I gave myself a little break, stitched some smalls, so I will be pulling A Christmas Carol back out and start working on that and hopefully show you some progress. All right, the giveaway last week was for A Patriotic Christmas Eve. It was for the very first one, and the winner is Elizabeth Setzler. It says, just love your Mr. and Mrs. Claus, beautiful stitching, enjoy visiting with you each Sunday, hugs and stitches, Betsy in Maryland. I love that. I love that I know where she lives. I love when people say hi from whatever. So, Betsy, you are the winner. Congratulations. And all you need to do is, if you are on Instagram and want to private message me, feel free to do so. If not, you can send me an email at finallyafarmgirl@gmail.com. So congratulations, and I really hope that you are excited to get stitching on this. That was last week's giveaway. Okay, this week's giveaway in the season, and this is nice because it goes straight into winter. Let me get it out. I wanted to give away almost a complete kit, but this is called the Mitten Collector. This one is, I thought so, by Diane Arthurs. This comes from Always in Stitches. Like, that's a blast from my past. I've had it. They are adorable, and I thought it might be fun. So what you'll get is the pattern, brand new, and I have the mitten button that goes with it there, and I have the linen here, and it is 32 count Lugana clay. So you've got that tan look that it has. And it's all serged up. So I hope that might, keep you in the feeling festive. But again, it's also a perfect stitch if you're in the middle of things like that you can do more for January. So the magic word on this one is, or the word I want you to use is mitten. So again, the standard rules always apply. Please don't use any words, giveaway, draw, free. You have to be 18 years or older, and because I will need your address. And again, the word this week is mitten, M-I-T-T-E-N. So that takes care of last week's, that's this week's, that's coming from me. And I wanted to talk real quick. You have to be a subscriber, and it would be so great if you made sure you liked the videos. My dad came to me after the last Flosstube, and he has graciously offered something to you all for a giveaway. So we have decided that we would do it for a very special giveaway. One is going to be for Thanksgiving, and the other one will be for Christmas. So what we have are two different sizes but beautiful frames, and I will get you the details for next Flosstube, which could be the one where we do the giveaway so that the winner is announced the Sunday after Thanksgiving. I'll look at the dates. This coming weekend, this Saturday, is my grandson's first birthday. It's going to be at our house here. Then on Sunday, I am heading off for a stitching day with a couple of friends, and I'm excited about that. But my dad has offered this, and even offered, because this is going to weigh a little bit. These are very, very pretty. My mom got very inspired by Nicola of Hands Across the Sea Samplers, and wanted some of those very same frames and things of that sort. So I don't have the exact names. I will get those for you next time. He has offered to donate, and he has offered to help with the shipping, or handle the shipping. And the only thing that I have to say is, for those two giveaways, we need to stick to just the 48 states. We can't do international, and we cannot do Hawaii or Alaska. Right now the shipping is just crazy. I did find a way to get birthday presents to the twins in the Netherlands, but it was not an easy task. You know, and I don't want to, it has nothing to do with the wanting to give them something. I want to be able to walk next door to the twins and give them a cake and their gift, but you know, it's not cheap either to do stuff that's right now that is traveling so far. So this particular giveaway, not this week, but the one for the frame, the cross stitch frames, those will have to be just the 48 states, not international, and not Alaska or Hawaii. So I think that it was really sweet of my dad to feel like this was the place. He's like, I want them to be where they will be loved, and he knows that this is that place. So that being said, happy stitching. Have a great week. I hope that y'all didn't think this was too silly, but that's who I am, and I think that it was such a fun week. So I'm excited to sit with you again next Sunday, and I'm excited to hear from the winners. So at this point, you know, don't forget to floss. Love ya. See you next Sunday, everybody. Bye.